Hi everybody, this is Debbie. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a heart on a rock. And it's a simple, easy way to have something pretty. So I'm going to show you first how to make the heart so that we can draw around that with a pencil or a piece of chalk or whatever you have on hand. Start off with about the size of the heart that you want and make a little square. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to even be perfectly a square. You can go that far if you want to, but you don't have to. So I've cut off this little piece of paper, and that's as large as I could possibly make a heart on here. And then what I'm going to do, the design we're going to do is a mandala heart today. And I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it one more time, so it's actually, we'll have like 4 even squares on it. And I'm going to take that corner in the middle and cut it off. That gives me my center. Then I'm going to unfold it, and I'm going to cut out a heart. To cut out a heart, you can start either at the bottom or the top, and just go along until you have a curved line. That's the bottom of the heart. Continuing on, you can make it as round, as tall, as short, as fat as you want, and keep curving until you indent it in the center a little bit. I'm not going to be happy with this heart, I can tell you right now, but I unfold it and I look at it and I decided, no, that's kind of a funky looking heart. So we're going to continue on. I'm going to make it a little bit more round here, a little bit skinnier at the bottom, and I'm going to make the top go way more in than I did the first time. Let's see if this heart looks better. And I like the shape of that heart. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put it on our rock, and you place it fairly in the center. You could actually seriously try to find the actual center of your rock if you want to. I'm just going to eyeball it to where I think it is kind of centered. And this rock that I found is kind of almost triangle shaped in a very rounded way. So I think it'll make a really nice heart shape. So I'm just going to go around my little piece of paper. This is just, again, a piece of scrap paper. This is how you design your own little stencils. So it doesn't cost you a lot of money. You don't have to purchase a lot of extra tools. And I'm using a number 2 pencil that you probably used at school or work. So outlining this onto my rock, and I should get some kind of a shape of a heart out of this. And then I'm going to mark the center. So this is the center of it, because that's where we're going to start. Okay, so there's my heart shape. If you can see that. Can you see that? Okay. Then I'm going to use today some different paints than I've used before. These, I think I bought them at Michael's, but I'm not sure. They're just numbered on the top 1 through 6, and it's actually rainbow colors. If you look at it, it's the pink, and then the orange, and then the yellow. Pink is kind of a hot pink. And then the yellow. I'm probably going to make a real mess here, but I'm going to try not to. Not easy to open. And we're going to go to the green, which would be after the yellow. You form green by mixing yellow and blue. I'm really having to. I should have opened these ahead of time. So let me continue. I get a kick out of myself because I can never do these things. Hold on, let me move in case I end up wearing this. It might be easier if I do it. I can't get the screen one open. Help. Okay, oh shoot, I got it. And I haven't spilled anything yet. Wow, my hands are still clean. This is just a matter of time though, before I'm wearing my paint. The blue and then the light lilac kind of purpley color. So far, everything's staying in. We haven't spilled anything. What do you know? Okay, did it without spilling. Okay, got a little bit of the green on me, which I deserved because it was so hard to open. Okay, so that's your little pattern. You can use this over and over again, this little heart. You don't have to throw it away. If you want to do more heart rocks, you can do more heart rocks. We're going to start off with, actually we're going to go in the colors that are in my little paint set. So again, it's the rainbow tones. We're gonna start with the purple, then go with the blue, the green, the yellow, orange, and hot pink. And then I think at the end, I might finish it with white. We'll see how it turns out. I don't have a pre-plan on what I'm going to do, but it is going to be a mandala rock. So we're gonna take the green dotting tool. I'm using my dotting tools today. This rock's not very big, so I shouldn't need anything bigger than this green one, which is my largest. And I'm gonna take this light lavender, purpley color that came in, and I'm gonna put it right on that center dot. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, so maybe you guys, there, maybe you can see it a little bit better. Will that help if I don't move it too much? So, another paint load on that green one, and that's our starting dot. Let me get my little paper towel that I wipe my tools off with. There we go. Then I'm going to take the blue one, which is, where is it? In my video. There it is. And I'm going to use the smaller of the two ends, and I'm going to dip it into the purple again. And we're going to go around that original dot. So first I'm going to put a dot above it. At least from my point of view, it's above it, and then one below it, kind of in line with that, and then one across. If you'll notice a pattern, I start a lot of my mandalas in this. It's just an easy way to go. And then I'm going to put one dot in between each one of those. Just enough space to do that. I didn't paint the heart first. If you don't like the color of your rock, or if your rock has a lot of imperfections, you can paint that heart shape first in whatever tone you like. Okay, so that's the start. Then we're gonna go with the blue, and I'm gonna use the other end of the blue, this end this time, and dot that right in between those purple. It's not coming out very big. Let me add a little more paint. There we go. Anytime you make your dot a little too small, you can just dot it again, and it'll deposit a bit more paint on there. I find that I use that often when the dots don't come out perfectly round, or when they come out a little too small or misshapen. I'll sometimes dot a few more times, or sometimes the paint collects on your tool, and the dots you started with in the beginning are a lot smaller than the dots you ended with sometimes, because as the paint gathers on the tool, it creates a larger dot. This stone is really uneven, and it's causing very uneven shaped dots. There we go. That one's a little bit bigger and rounder, more what I was going for. So I'm going to go back and add some paint to some of these others. And you just paint right on top of it, and it will create the larger dot that you're trying to get, which I'm trying to get. Okay, so then we're going to go with the green. I'm going to go back. I'm still using this blue tool, which other than the green one to start with is the only one I've started with. I'm going to the smaller end again, and I'm going to use this lime green. I'm going to put a dot of that in between each of those light blue dots. This is kind of a pastel colored heart shape that we're doing. That's a pretty color. Okay, one dot in between each one of those. And staying with the green, I have a lot of space in there, so I'm going to add another green dot in between each one of those. It's almost exactly in line with the blue dot that we did previously. Got a lot of paint on that, so I didn't even go back and dip. Normally I do. Okay, now we're going to go with the yellow, which is next, using the other end of the blue again. I'm going to dip it into the yellow and go in line with the green dot that we first put on there. So in between each one that sticks out a little bit further, we're going to put a yellow dot. Colors are just naturally pretty in this little set that I bought. If I can find out where I bought this, I will put it in the description below. I want to say it was Michael's, but I'm not certain. I go there a lot. I met Michael years ago, the man who founded the company Michael's. He used to work. His first store was directly next to a company that I worked for. Okay, so surrounding the yellow dots, the orange is the next color in line to use. I want to get the smallest dotting tool that I have of this set, and it's the pink one. And I'm going to take the orange and I'm going to put one dot on the outside line of each one of the yellow. There we go. A few more to do. Little orange dot there and an orange dot there. Okay. I just messed that one up, didn't I? We'll make these orange dots a little bit bigger than to go with the what I already did. I want to tell you a little hint about to make it easy on yourself to, I'm making my orange dots bigger. To make it easy on yourself when you're starting off painting, if you paint your entire design, like the heart, if I had painted it black, I would have an easy way to fix a mistake like what I just made by going back and adding some black paint on the end of that dot, which was too big. So now I'm having to make all the other ones bigger. If I had the black background painted on there, I could just paint black on top of the orange that was too big. But since I didn't paint the background, I have to make these dots pretty close to the same size. Okay, I'm good with that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk the dots as we've talked about before. I'm going to take a little dip of the orange and I'm going to walk around the yellow just like that. You stay very close to the beginning right next to that larger orange dot and then stay close to the yellow in the middle and just continue to walking around. So you start right there in that little corner that it forms, little indentation between the two dots, and then walk around the larger dot and your paint drops off, and so the dots get smaller as they go closer to the inside. So start off there, doing 4 dots around. If your tools are different, if your rock is different, if the size dot that you started with is different, you may use different number of dots on your walking, and that's okay. They don't even have to all exactly be 4 or 3 or even the same number, because it's what your eye sees. Your eye takes in the negative space and the positive space, which is caused from the color and then the lack of color, and it creates a pretty vision. I need to add a little more paint to those guys. There we go. And if it looks even, there's too much paint on that one, so I'm going to go around the other side. If it looks even to your eye, your mind will be very happy about that. I'm going to take off a little bit of the orange that built up for my last couple of dots, dip it in the orange again. There we go. This is a pretty delicate little heart. I like the pastel colors. It's spring here. I'm videotaping this in May. We're on lockdown with virus time, and This is why I started the channel, was to give everybody at home something to do, something fun, something pretty to create. So I hope you like it. Now I'm going to take the larger end that I have, the green one, has the largest ball on it, and we're up to the pink now, and I'm going to dip that into the pink, and I'm going to put it in between, almost in line with my largest orange dots. Try to get it kind of circular. Let me stir this up a little bit, guys. Use a toothpick to stir it. My pink is really thick. I haven't used this paint before, and I bought it when I was on a trip, but I still used another one that I bought that time, so I didn't have to use this one. So this set is starting to get a little dried out, but I am trying to teach you how to paint with what you already have around the house, so hopefully the honesty that you see in these videos helps. Okay, so it's kind of in between the two larger oranges, and that hot pink is pretty, isn't it? If you watch to the end of this video, I'm going to offer you a surprise at the end. I'm going to give one lucky winner this rock that I'm painting right now. So stay tuned for that, and I'll tell you how to get that rock. This pink is pretty. It adds a nice little brightness to it. Okay. Now, the natural way to go about this is to continue the color flow. So we're going to go to the other end where we started with the purples, and we're going to continue on with those. What I'm going to do around each one of these pink dots is I'm going to get the small end again, or the pink dotting tool again. I'm going to start with the large end first, and then I'm going to dot with the small end. So I'm going to dip it into the larger end, which is very small still, and put it on the end of each one of these pink. Add a little dot of purple. I try to line it up so it's straight across from the ones across from it, so it's on the very outside. One dot on each of the outside of the hot pink. And these are the colors I'm using. If you don't have these same colors, no worries. You can use whatever colors you like, or whatever colors you want, or whatever colors you have. But I want to give you a little hint about that. If you have more like a dark red, or a regular blue, or those kinds of tones, and you don't have these pastel shades, if you have white paint, you can mix up your paints to create paints similar to these colors. Okay, now I'm going to take the small end of this dotting tool, and I'm going to walk the dots using the lavender, going all the way around. So it's just going to be a little dot, and a dot, and that maybe only two on this one. Dot, and a dot. I want to go all the way around, dot and dot. So again, just mix up the colors you've got with a white, if you happen to have a white, and you will end up with pastel colors if you're in the mood for spring pastel stone, which is what I was. I'm actually getting 3 on some of these, so. Okay, if ever you are dotting along with me and you have any questions, you can put them in the comments section, and I can answer your questions if I know the answers. I'll read the comments. I've been paying pretty close attention to my YouTube channel here at Creekside Art Studio for you, because it's new and it's all very exciting for me right now to be able to do this. I just want to give back something that something I can do to share with anybody that's interested in having something fun to do at home. If you have an art studio, you may be able to learn something from me. You may be able to teach me something. I'm always open to learning. I'm open to suggestions. All of this is for our own pleasure and entertainment. Okay, we're going to go back and do a dot of the blue. I'm going to use the blue tool again, and I'm going to use the larger end of the blue tool, and I'm dipping it in the pale blue color that I have. And just outside that orange dot, I'm going to add a blue one. I'm trying to see if I can fit it in. Let me see. There, I'm still on camera. See if I can fit it in. I think I can get it in. Nice other two orange ones. Just wanted to make sure it wouldn't go outside my heart. You don't have to fill up every single space that you have inside your design. That's certainly a personal choice, up to you, if you want to do that or not. Okay, now we're up to the green. And what I'm going to do with the green is take the smaller end of the blue. We just used the larger one to place those blue dots. I'm going to use the smaller end. I'm going to dip into the green, the lime green, and I'm going to go on either side of those blue dots. Each one of those. Try to make them similar in size. This is a very colorful, very pretty little heart. Very sweet. Okay, those are all done. Now what I want to do, I'm down to the orange again if I want to use the orange. And I think I'm going to get the smallest end of the smallest tool, which is the pink end. And I'm going to use a dot of the orange just on the outside of the blue on the ones that I can. And I think it's only going to be a couple of them. The ones on the side. This one's a little too close to the edge, so it's just going to be filling in the space here. And again on this one, just barely. Okay. And then the hot pink, to use it one more time. I think what I'm going to do is I can either outline it in the hot pink, which I think would be beautiful, or I can outline it in white. And I think I'm going to do both. So this is going to be a little time consuming. If you don't have time, I can tell you right now what I'm going to be doing. I'm stirring up the pink because I told you it was a little bit older and sticky, kind of thick. So I'm going to dot all the way around the outside. This is going to brighten this beautifully with the smallest little rounded dotting tool that I have, which is the pink. Make sure I'm still on the screen here for you. There we go. I'm just going to dot it each time. I'm going to put it in the paint, and I'm going to go around the outline that I drew initially. If the pink will cooperate with me. So I'm just going to follow my little heart line. I want to try to get these dots to be similar in size, and of course shape should be round. Not all dots are round as they should be, but it would be great if they were. Fairly close together all the way around. Once I learn how to speed videos up, this is one of those parts I would probably speed up for you. At this time, I don't know how to do that. So we're not doing that. That way I could take my time, make this as close to perfect as I possibly could, and then you would have a very sped up version of a monotonous part of the art if you don't like watching every dot being applied. I can only tell you that I have spent hours and hours of watching people put dots on designs because I actually love watching the art being produced. To me, it's just fascinating and beautiful to watch it change shape, to watch each dot that I place change the look of each piece of art is just fascinating to me. So I don't get bored with this. If you have a high interest in this, then you're with me on that, because I really enjoy this, everything about this art form. It's very relaxing. I know a lot of my friends are very into yoga and meditation and things like that. They also love this kind of thing because it just makes you not think about anything except the beauty you're producing. It is calming, it's centering, it's just a wonderful thing. Mandalas are one of my favorite things to paint. I do paint dragonflies and hummingbirds and butterflies and trees and flowers and a lot of other nature things, but I definitely love mandalas. Mandalas are basically like, to me, kind of like the circle of life. It's everything starts in the center, which is in ourselves, and then what we do affects how it looks, how it feels, how we feel. So it's all very good for your heart and soul. Getting down to the bottom, joining the other side. Okay, there it is, if you can see it from all sides. You can add paint to certain areas if you see, like I skipped a little bit around the orange. I could add a little dot there. If you want the shape to be a little bit different, now's the time to change that. You can expand it. I'll show you a little trick I do. If I wanted this side to go out a little bit further, just make that dot a little bit bigger on the side that I wanted it to be bigger, the heart to be bigger, and it rounds it out. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to get my white out. Let me find my white paint. Ill prepared for this. Sorry guys, hold on a second. Let me find my white. Oops. I crashed everything. There's my lighting. Coming back, hold on. This is the comedy part of the video. Alright, I'll forget. I give up. Hi, this is Debbie back with you, and now I'm going to show you the finished rock that you just learned how to paint if you followed along the video. If you saw all the way to this point, you saw my blooper part where I completely knocked down my tripod and I knocked down my everything pretty much, knocked out the camera, everything went down, my lighting. So to finish this heart rock mandala, I just finished by painting white dots all the way around the pink dots. And so now you can see what it looks like finished. It's also been resin, so it has a beautiful coat, beautiful shine to it. Turned out to be a very pretty rock. Please like this video if you got a kick out of it, if you learned anything, or if you just feel like being nice. And subscribe to my channel. And make sure you hit the ring button on the bell so you'll get more videos as I produce them. Eventually I will learn how to do it better and hopefully we can learn together. Take care. From Creekside Art Studio, this is Debbie signing off. Thank you. Bye-bye.